Painting with Menoth John is presented in Super Legitivision. Super Legitivision, the future of podcasting. It's .com.
Hello, I'm
Menoth John.
and I'd like to welcome you. First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your homes. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your
miniatures
and paint along with us each week. Let's go over to the canvas here and let's get started. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. You start out by believing here. You can almost paint with anything. All you have to do is practice.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, all you've got to practice, and practice makes perfect, but that didn't stop XSplit from completely hosing up the early part of this show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show where you won't get to see John Spencer's face other than that cute little icon up in the upper right-hand corner because XSplit hates me. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Sunday night, and this is not the Daenerys Targaryen channel, and, going up against her is unwise, I have heard. But up in the upper right-hand corner, if you could see him, would be the mighty right hand of this show, my co-host with the host, Mr. John Spencer. Say hello to the brushheads.
Heyo.
There he is. See? He's actually on the show. I swear to God.
I got my Warcaster armor and everything. They can take my blast armor away, but now I'm immune to fire, goddammit.
Hell yeah, bitches. I'm going to tell you what, that being immune to fire, that makes you like one of those stumpy dwarf wizard dudes. Whatever the hell they're called. The Arcantric Force guys or whatever.
Tactical Arcanist Corps.
Yeah, whatever the fuck they are. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mark III. They're getting new names. I'm renaming them as President for Life of War Machine and Hordes. They're now the flamey fucking dwarfy guys.
I'm going to issue a charge order with my flamey fucking Dorphin guys. I got
Woo!
it. I'm good.
Wasn't that a show by Saban, the flamey fucking dwarfin guys?
Maybe in Japan. That might have been the translation from the original Japanese.
I heard that was actually going to be a new unit on Backstrike Bonus, the new sister podcast of the Painting with Menoth John show.
Oh, excellent, sir. Well
That's
played.
right. That's a callback, ladies and gentlemen. That is the sign of professional podcasting. All right.
That's a hell of a callback.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, folks, there was a lot of exciting things this week around the world of War Machine. And amongst them was the fact that John got better lighting at his table there that he broadcasts from, and that he's got a new camera to show off, and a whole bunch of he's got new glasses, and you're gonna see none of that shit tonight.
I got a new book for Infinity. Oh, I can't see that either.
There you go. Can't see that. Can't see that at all. So, welcome to the Painting with Menoth John show, where technology is our friend. So what I'm expecting here, John, is that XSplit pissed all over my license is the way this thing apparently is going down. But and when that happens, you lose some of the nicey nices that go along with it. So we're hopefully going to get a hold of them on Monday and get this thing figured out so that next Sunday we can have the dulcet tones and the sparkling visage of the co-host with the mo-host.
Sparkling visage, that's a new one.
Yeah, hell yeah, bitches.
One.
We got the thesaurus open. A thesaurus means book of big words in at least 34 different languages. So, let's have a beverage
just
update.
That nerdy dinosaur that everyone asked to do their homework for him.
Oh, snap. A thesaurus. I see what you did there. All right. These are, Chain Attack may have its dad jokes, and I'm going to give them to it because Josh Wheeler, he's a hell of a guy. And those dad jokes are freaking legit. But, we can pun with the best of them.
We will punish you all night long if we have to.
Boom. Another pun. That was a pun within a pun. That was punception right there. Nice.
Yep.
All right. So we start each and one of these shows. In case you're new to the program, and I don't know why you would be, we haven't done anything innovative in at least a year, but you might be new to the show. And so welcome. And we always start off our show with a beverage update because that's a throwback to the early days of the good old Lost Hemisphere show. I am going to be drinking from our good friends in Brush Eater. Brush Tour. Please pay attention to this. I will be having from the Southern Tier Brewing Company a Warlock, and so that is delightful. And I will be drinking that. But I will be starting off the show with a shot of a little bit of Canadian gold known as Sortilege. What about you, sir?
Well, I've got a shot of my black cherry whiskey,
Mhm.
and then to follow it up, I've got some black cherry whiskey and some cherry coke.
Oh shit, boys and girls! That's a double dose of your cherry whiskey pimping right there. So on behalf of the co-host, he's having a shot. You can't see it, but it's going to happen. And me, Menoth John. Hey, Ron.
Ron.
It's like slamming a pancake down my neck. That's good. I feel like Yukon Cornelius when I do that. Nothing.
So earlier I took some about 2 fingers of Yukon Jack and mixed it with some green tea. You know what it tasted like?
2 fingers of Jack. What did it taste like?
It tasted like Yukon Jack.
Oh, well, there you go. Could be
I'm like,
worse.
Well, it's not watering it down, but they didn't add anything in the flavor sensation there.
But look at you got the benefits of green tea, which I understand. I've read that avocado guy's shit, David Avocado, whatever the fuck he is. And if you drink that green tea, he says that shit will reverse the global warming that's happening.
Oh.
So you just saved the world. You're better than the core. There's the compliment of the week, folks. You're better than the core.
Than the core. Wow. My nose is bleeding after that compliment.
That should be on our shirt. Painted with Menoth John. We're better than the core.
Than the core.
Nice.
Oh my God.
That's great. That's great. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely the episode you've been waiting for. We've gotten absolutely no request for this episode, John. But, people have been wondering, Menoth John, when are you going to paint them sluggers? It's literally been on the tips of tongues across the universe. Carl Sagan, he knew shit about the cosmos. And when he flew that Starship of Imagination out there and he put out the radio beacons, the first thing he heard was, when's Menoth John going to paint them sluggers? It was confusing to him, but it was there. And I'm going to do that tonight, God damn it. And so we're going to paint some sluggers. I've got 10 models. Funny thing is that they're not actually 2 full units. They're actually 3 half units that I've had to convert. Yeah, by the way, Napalm Ignited, that's my look on my face when I say sluggers, too.
Sluggers?
Yeah, exactly. Third, they're not good. I mean, they were terrible in Mark II. They're still bad in Mark III because they don't have anything exotic or silly like Assault or they don't have they're D3. You can't even rely on how many shots you're going to get. Could be 5, could be 15, could be meat, could be cake. You just don't know what it could be. And nothing in this goddamn game chaps my ass harder than unreliable models. So that's what you got. We're gonna paint them, and then we've got coming up on the show. Mark your calendars. June 5th, I believe it's going to be. So it might happen, it might not happen. It all depends. Our guest is checking with his significant other, but we're going to welcome back onto the show Sherwin Matthews of the Guild Ball and the KR Multicase, and so he's going to be on the show with us again to talk about Guild Ball Season 2. If you remember, he's the lore master, so he's going to be with us, and I'm going to be painting this little gal, Pinvice. During that time, if he is unable to join us, we are going to call it an all-out lock and load special on June 5th, and we'll just talk because I'll be going to lock and load that week, and we'll talk about why I'm bringing elves and what I'm bringing with me. So, John, should we give him the business?
Let's give him the business.
All right, let's give him the business. First off, ladies and gentlemen, you know that we have sponsors. First off, of course, we have the Flight Medic Painting. Get on over there and check him out. Flight Medic, he's in the chat room right now. You know, that guy paints red the way I drink Sort of Liege. He savors it. And so, you know, his reds and other colors don't taste like flapjacks getting rammed down your neck, but they look damn good on the table. So, Flight Medic, when you need your shit painted in legit fashion, tell him Menoth John sent you, because you ought to get something out of the sponsorship. So he's awesome, and he'll paint the shit out of your stuff. That's his slogan. Over at Greenleaf Terrain, you know, John, Mark III is going to usher in a whole new kettle of fish when it comes to that terrain. John, have you played any games with the Mark III terrain rules?
No, not really. We just sort of throw terrain out.
Okay. Well, you're going to be throwing a shit ton of terrain out in Mark III, and that shit better be big, because if you don't have all that base into that your model into that terrain, shit might as well not even be there. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mark, you know, Greenleaf Terrain, that's Adam at Greenleaf Terrain. He's going to fix you up. He'll make you a piece of terrain that would fit Sluggers, if you make it big enough. And why you would put Sluggers into a forest is beyond me, because they don't have Pathfinder. So he could do it, though, and he would use millimeters and centimeters. He could probably even use a decimeter if you asked him, because he knows all. You know, I don't know all the metrics, but Adam does at Greenleaf Terrain, and he would metric the shit out of your terrain.
He's going to make sure it comes to you in grams, not kilograms, because that shit gets heavy then.
That's right. You don't want him in kilograms. He might even send it to you in kilometers. So you kick that shit up a notch. All right, so...
I would have gone with, they'll send it to you no matter how many kilometers away you are.
Oh, that's right. Kilometers are distance. So there you go. You know, in when Carl Sagan heard about the Painting with Menoth John show, it was kilometers away. So there you go. So also, KR Multicase. You know, I live in Wisconsin, John. Did you know that?
That's true.
Yes.
I did know that.
You did know that. Do you know that here in Wisconsin, we are known as the dairy state? And nothing spells lovin' like Butter from Wisconsin, or the Butter foam from KR Multicase. Ladies and gentlemen, that shit is slick. That's what I said when I used that out. Draw it out. Okay, that's good. Draw that shit is slick. KR Multicase, it's blue, it's green, it's yellow. They have a whole host. It's like a rainbow of Skittle flavors you can jam your models into. Protects the shit out of them. It's the best. Then we go to Clockwork Phoenix. Oh, by the way, if you order something from KR Multicase, make sure you tell them the Painting with Menoth John show sent you, because they'll grease it up a little extra for you then. So, the shit I say on this podcast. That's great.
I think that means what you think it means.
That's great. I just killed myself on my own show. That's great. Nothing's funnier than when the person laughs at their own jokes. That's professional podcasting. And then there's Clockwork Phoenix Games. You know, that's that David Carl. He used to work for Privateer Press. He had a large hand in the coming of the Mark III. He's now over there at Clockwork Phoenix Games. He's making some card games based on the Guild Ball universe, and I can't wait to see what that's going to be like, because he's a big fan of the card games, and so he'll fix us up good.
Absolutely, I'm actually kind of interested to see what he does with those too.
Absolutely,
a lot of open design space in card games. I'd like to see what interesting mechanics he comes up with.
You know, open design space is the watchword of this week. That's like every time someone says design space, a duck falls out of the ceiling, and like horns go off.
Like Pee-wee's Playhouse. Someone says it, and we're like, ah!
Well, you know, that's if you're younger. When you're old like me, you remember the frickin' Groucho Marx show. So, I mean, I'm too young for that show even, but I used to see it on Channel 9. So WGN for all you whippersnappers out there. So I'm just having some Warlock, and we're gonna get going. I don't know if we've got any more business. Oh, real quick, if you enjoy this show, and why would you? And you want to keep the lights on, get on over here to www.patreon.com/MenothJohn. You know, this comedy ain't cheap, and we encourage you to get out there and to support us a little bit. We prefer the kind that jingles. We love the kind that folds. If you pledge at the $2 an episode level, I'm just going to stress this out here. We're only ever going to charge you for 4 episodes a month. We're not out here to gouge our fans. We're here just to kind of keep the lights on and keep get cameras you can't see. To John, that was the podcast helped finance that, and has helped finance better cameras, better recording equipment, and all that kind of stuff. It's because of you folks out there. But if you would like to continue to support the show, we hope we bring a smile to your face. www.patreon.com/menothjohn. John, you've got something very special coming out on the regular audio stream this week that is usually just a Patreon exclusive.
Yeah, absolutely. I got just recorded episode 3 of Co-Host Corner, where I talk about all or most of the Merc spoilers. For a good long time. It's actually a bit longer than my normal. I think I actually hit a full 30 minutes and change with that one.
Right. And, usually the only way to get that is to be a patron, and then you'll get access to the patron site, and then you can download it and listen to it. Here, this week, we're going to put that up actually on the iTunes feed, which if you're not an iTuneser, you can, that's a word, right? iTuneser, you can, you point your podcatcher. Back in the day, there was a service called Podcast Pickle that it was like a ranking site for podcasts. We don't have that anymore. We're just up here on the RSS feed. Don't be in a pickle. Subscribe to the Painting with Menoth John show. Right here with this RSS feed. And this week on Wednesday, I think we're going to put out the next co-host corner. So
Boom.
It's going to be
Wednesday.
super Wednesday. I just decided that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so there you go, folks. That shit's legit. And I think we're done with the business.
Done with this. You'll see another new article up on the website on Friday or Saturday. I think Friday is what I'm shooting for. Where I review some products I got from Madness Minis. So keep an eye out for that.
And if you're a newer person and are looking for the hardcore casual scenario pack, we've decided to release that publicly after a year of it being a patron exclusive. And that is also up there at pwmenothjohn.com. Just look for the hardcore casual post. Real easy. It's all graphically based. You basically almost don't even need to have to be able to read to be look at Painting with Menoth John. We'll put pictures up there and stuff. Icons. Yeah.
Smiley faces. We'll get it all up there. Emojis.
I love those
emojis.
I love those emojis. I like the one that looks like a little poop. So there you go.
I like the Skype one. This little dog sitting there and jumping up and down.
Nice. That's nice too. Little dogs jumping up and down is also very nice. So anyway, we're going to get onto the painting now so you can see how totally legit and super sweet this new lighting system is here. Okay, so there you go, folks. Here is where it all happens. This is the painting table of Menoth John. And I'm going to move my mic a little bit so you can keep on hearing me. And it looks like my mic is falling over. You might need to get a little blue pill for my microphone here in a second. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put here is a slugger in case you've never seen one before. This is what it looks like. And half my sluggers don't have the ammo belt thing hanging out the side because somehow they couldn't be bothered to send that when I bought the models. But now watch. Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. Let there be light. Oh, it's so much better.
And there you have it. A slugger in his natural environment. The painting table, not the gaming table.
That's right. You certainly are much less likely to see it on the gaming table than you are to see it on the painting table. All right, so here's another thing that I've done, John. I have outlined the area on my painting thing here where people stand a half a chance of being able to see what the hell I'm actually doing. So
that's a good idea.
I thought that would be optimal so that we could actually, people would say, yeah, sure, he's painting, whatever. Who knows what he's doing? All right, so the first thing we're going to do on these clowns is paint the skin. Now, for those of you who are wondering and who might want to copy the patented Painting with Menoth John purple skin troll thing, the first thing we start off with is some white. And these guys have been primed black and then zenithal shaded with the, it's called Broken Earth or something like that. It's a very whitish gray color. And I'm already holding the damn thing way up in the middle of the air. And we're going to go ahead and start painting on this stuff. John, what did you do this week?
Well, I actually got another game in.
Oh, shut up. I haven't played a game in 3 weeks.
No, I got lucky. Trollton Heston's brother wanted to play another game, so we went to Thunderdome, which is El Marshall's place, since he opened up to hang out and hobby and all, and we played a game.
Nice.
And as last week, I had Not Brushhead the Jason randomly cut my deck of mercenary casters to give me a random caster to play.
And
This week, you ended up with Magnus again, just the other Magnus.
oh, okay.
So Magnus the Traitor.
So Magnus won.
Yes.
Got it.
So I just whipped something up pretty quick. Usually I like to have like a galleon with him, but no galleon in my bag, so I'll make this work.
Okay.
So I gave him a Renegade, Rocinante, and a Mule, which is a big battle group, but that's going to be the way it is in Mark III.
That's right. Get used to it, folks.
And then I added on Gaston with a Vanguard, because, hey, why the hell not? And followed that up with a Steelhead package of a standard size unit of Steelheads. That would be 20 models. And a max unit of Cavalry. And then Saxon Auric, Harlan Versh, and I think that was actually about it.
Got it.
So it was, that many jacks really eats up your points pretty quick.
Yep. In this version of the game, it does.
Yep, and the other Jason, I was playing Urisk. Still Urisk 2. He switched up his list. He had a Manhunter, Fenris. He had a unit of the Greylord Outriders. And then he had a max unit of Kayazi. He had Saxon Auric as well. He had a Grolar and a Rager, a War Dog.
Remind me
And
what a Rager is.
It's got the shield gun. It's got the shield guard with the shield cannon and all the Berserker chassis.
Okay, got it.
It's actually range 8, PAL 15 gun. It's actually pretty legit.
I've heard good things about it, and I'm not just pandering to Flight Medic at this point.
Well, honestly, if you think about it, with the way the rules sit right now, so you can't really put focus on it without chances that it'll blow up. So a Rat 3 gun, not so good. Until you count the fact that Urisk comes with fire for effect, so one fully boosted shot out of it. So
That
that's pretty good.
Doesn't seem bad.
Yeah. So we rolled the exact same scenarios last time, so we switched up, rolled again, and got Incursion.
Okay.
And pretty much it went down that I put Blur on a unit of Steelhead Halberdiers and ran them up, which they lived through Widowmaker firing because, well,
Blur.
+3 defense is actually a thing.
Blur's one of the best spells in the damn game, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, when you look at Bullet Dodger on Magnus 2, you get really sad because it does not hold a candle to Blur. It's so much worse.
Yep.
But so we do that. He brings his Kazi up, and on the other side, he brings his Outriders and Manhunter up against another unit of Steelheads. But he's like, I should be out of charge range. Spoiler, he was not out of charge range.
Oh,
He was what I would call a quarter of an inch in charge range.
Oh, pre-measuring.
Yeah. Granted, that'll change the whole game, but so on that side, I have basically the end all of that side is I have a unit of Steelheads kicking the crap out of a Manhunter and a unit of Greylord Outriders all by their lonesome.
Yep.
So that side's not going well for him because let's be honest, that's not really good when you've got 11 points of models getting their butts whooped by 6. Not good.
Nope, that's poor. That's a poor exchange.
In the middle, I had the Mule with Snipe on it, trundle through the woods a little bit because Fenris is sitting there right in the middle, which is horrific because I don't have any way to mitigate command tests. I'm not going to use my caster's command of 7 because that would be less. And, I feel like having one of my units break could really cost me the game. So,
yep.
I have the Mule come forward, shoots him, gets a crit devastation. I'm like, awesome, just land on those 2 Great Bears that are like 2.5 inches behind you. Nope, roll a 1. He just falls back a little bit. I leave him with 1 wound. But then Harlan Versh trundles forward and goes, I got this. And, targets on their back, that's kind of his shit.
Yep.
It takes 2 shots and I kill him. I get the first shot takes out that last wound on his mounted. The second shot takes him to dead.
Nice.
So that leaves it so the Steelhead Halberdiers can charge and run, and the cavalry can charge. They get a bit of work done killing two of the. Oh, he had the Great Bears. I forgot about them. Kill two of the Great Bears. Kill a couple chaos. Kill like one Chaosi, tough another one. Generally get in the way. And actually, I had the Vanguard. I put Iron Aggression on it for Magnus, loaded up with Focus from Gaston, and I fired that thing in the middle of Chaosi, figuring with the Growlar right behind it, and he's got Pathfinder. That thing's deader than shit next round. Let's just fire it, and Gaston's going to run over and help with those Greylords. Spoiler, Vanguard did not die next round. In fact, he did not even take a point of damage next round.
Uh-oh.
The Growlar, he Irisk two-feeted. He put Battle Lust on the Chaosi. I'm like, okay, that Vanguard is deader than shit.
Oh my
Holy
god.
moly.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
so
oh my
dead.
god, yes.
But they pop their mini feet, run through it, and just start charging Steelhead Halberdiers. And I'm like, okay, I'm okay with this.
Hmm.
Because let's be honest, Battle Lust makes them kill Steelhead Halberdiers at exactly zero amount more than they do already.
Oh yeah, I mean they're already dead.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I got going for me is the fact that one or two didn't get a second guy for gang and set defense. You know, he ended up killing, I think like 6 models of the unit, something like that. About what about what you expect when he's doubling up on a lot of them. And then the Growlar trundles forward. He's only got one focus on him. He's figuring he's going to knock him down, then kick the crap out of him. Throws first attack, misses. Snake Eyes, as a matter of fact. Tries to shoot me, but I'm like, yeah, there's no way. I don't even know if the Growlar's got Gunfighter, but I don't care. I let him take the shot. He missed. Ended up killing one of his Chaosi. Because he was in my reach also. And then buys another attack, rolls Snake Eyes again. So I got a Vanguard way the hell out of control of Gaston. Just sitting there going, what's up? I'm just taking on this heavy by myself.
I'll be over here.
Yeah. Rocinante just sort of wandering around. Like, Rocinante started going one side. Then I'm like, nah, I don't need him over there. I need him over there. So I run him to the other side. And the Renegade's just sitting in the back going, I'm a Renegade. What's up? Like, I didn't want him right next to Magnus, but that was the final spot. That was the best spot for him at the time. So.
Yep.
So, on my next turn, I'm looking. He didn't bother contesting the middle flag at all. Because I didn't have anyone in bases either. So, hey, no big deal. So, the Steelheads on the other side have a good turn and kill all but one Outrider who's not contesting the flag. Also kill the Manhunter. In the center, he's got only a couple dudes contesting the flag, or remotely in position to contest the flag. I sick the rest of the cavalry on them. Oh, his Widowmakers kill 2 cavalry.
Oh my.
Yeah. He hit 3 times. First one did no damage. Second one killed the whole cavalry, and the last one killed the whole cavalry.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's my one of my lingering concerns about next edition is they didn't necessarily make cavalry tougher enough. They should not be dying to POW 10s. I don't mind taking some wounds, but dying completely to POW 10s is not bueno.
Yeah, we'll see how all that works out. I'm not sure either about the Cav.
I mean, I know Steelhead Cav reportedly get +1 armor, which would have meant one of them would live, and the other one he rolled boxcars and would have died anyways. But I'm okay, I guess, with it dying on boxcars. But anyway, so I get that cleared out. I don't have anyone base the flag, and I've got no one to base the flag on the other side. Saxon's like a half-inch out. So Magnus pops his feet. All of his jacks do their stuff, and then Magnus runs around to the center flag. Because he popped his feet and moved, then ran over there. After everyone's done, the Renegade just runs over, gets in the way. The Mule takes a good shot, does some damage, gets in the way between Magnus and everything. And then Rocinante ran, and then ran into the flag.
Okay.
So I score 3 points.
Nice.
He comes in. He's got 1 Grey Lord. He can't get him to a point where he can easily contest the flag without taking like 3 free strikes. He declines to do so, even though I probably would have. In the center, he manages to get 1 guy in to contest. He gets 1 Chaosi in range to contest. and then puts fire for effect on the ranger. He comes around, takes a shot on Magnus through like the smallest hole. Does a fair amount of damage, but on my turn, I win because he didn't contest the flag.
Gotcha.
If not, I would have ended up killing the one Kayazi. I had a renegade with a rocket, the mule right there. I mean, I had a ton of stuff that could spend focus to kill him.
There was a lot going on earlier in that game though that was pretty much sealing his doom as well.
Yeah, it was. I told him like when 11 points of your model cannot comfortably take on 6 points of mine, you're having a bad day.
Yep.
And it's a mental mistake for the center that anyone could make when I'm not actually scoring the flag. You don't put too much to contest it or anything. I think maybe the one Great Bear was contesting it, but it wouldn't matter. I killed him dead.
Yep.
Harlan Verse did that. Melee, no less.
Oh, wow.
He's just like, I got a sword. Pah, die.
There you go.
So yeah, it's that's how that went. That was pretty good. He's learning. He has to get as many games as he wants, but he's still learning some stuff. He's asking the right questions.
So that sounds like a good game. I have yet to get. I haven't played a game in 3 weeks. I've gotten to the point where work right now is so challenging between the different projects I've got going on, and it is. I just have not had any chance to get up on a Thursday to the game store. I'm hoping that once we here probably another 2 weeks or so, and I should be able to get up there again. Maybe this Thursday. I don't know. It's hard to say. But turns out that keeping the roof on the house is probably a little bit more important than playing Warmans. So.
Oh yeah, I mean honestly, if it wasn't for Saturday with Jason, I wouldn't have gotten any games in this week either.
Yeah.
I mean, Wednesday I didn't even have a prayer of making it to game night. Good Lord, that would have been hilarious.
Saturday was all about getting out to the movies with the kids though too. So there was plenty of other stuff going on and spending some time with Belinda, and so I think I had my priorities straight.
Yeah, absolutely. Besides, it's the end of Mark II. Not a lot of people there are a lot of people who don't want to play any games until Mark III hits, and I understand that.
Well, it's not that I don't want to play. It's just I want to play Retribution, but I want to play it with the new rules.
So you want to wait till the new edition comes out? I don't blame you.
Yeah, I mean it's just like, oh crap, this is mopey. I don't want to do this. I want to get free focus on all these dudes, and I want to play with this other stuff over here because the Retribution stuff is looking like it's going to be pretty damn amazing.
Well, even with the limited stuff we know, I mean, look at that game. I mentioned the command check was a big deal to me.
Yep.
That would have been great to not have to worry about that. I could have gotten past Fenris, but not outside of the 3-inch abomination, only outside of his 2-inch reach. So I might have been able to use the mule for a better shot than that. And one free focus on my jacks would have been freaking amazing when you bring in 4 jacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's just it. I played played a little bit of mock Mark III with Viros 2, and it was just basically every light jack I had, and Moros and a Gorgon scored a caster kill. That's some good shit right there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Like, it's 2 games in a row when I mentioned with the large battle groups I actually favor a lot of times because having a second heavy is a hell of a thing.
It is, and when you look at what that could possibly do with game length and stuff like that, because War Machine's a lot of fun, but I think a lot of us would agree that it would be really super great if it was just a little bit shorter of a game than it is right now. So
yeah, absolutely. Especially casual games. Some more jacks are good. They kill stuff. Being able to boost, having more things in place that can boost to get those annoying things out of the way, will be good. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So
and speaking of looking forward to Mark III, I have another tiny rant to go on.
Oh, please do.
So there's a lot of those cards being spoiled, and you guys know which cards I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that say confidential and all that. And this isn't what you think. I don't care if you guys post them on Facebook, whatever. It's not on you to police Privateer Press's stuff. All I would say is that if they ask you nicely to take them down, if they actually ask you nicely to take them down, maybe consider it. Other than that, it's no big deal. It's the internet. It's the Wild West.
I-
It actually goes to taking those things as chip truth, as in that's exactly what they're going to be. Because honestly, a lot of those look like they're early playtest versions. I saw one today that was one of my guys shared in the group that was precursors, and I'm like, he's like, well, they still suck. I'm like, well, they're exactly the same. Like literally, they're exactly the same. The only thing really changed is they're wording a couple things and the points cost, which is also really kind of weird. So don't take those things as under the truth. You can look at them, say, oh, that might be cool, that might not be cool, but don't take them as truth unless Privateer Press prints them. Unless they put them out there, don't just buy into it blindly.
Yeah, we're not going to know really what they are until June 10th.
Yep. Granted, the rest of the cards that they actually did release for like they came out for the no quarter were really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to. I'm probably going to buy a Ret Battle Box, to be honest with you. I think that caster is good enough that it's someone I'm going to want to play just as soon as possible, and I have a use for every jack in that particular box.
I really just really wish they would have changed up the what that was in that box a little bit. But
Oh, I don't disagree.
I mean, I think a Gorgon would have been good in there because a lot of people have Gorgons. Get plastic Gorgons out there a little bit more. I mean, I guess I can use an 8th Griffin, 4th Chimera.
I only have
Manicore is super useful. I mean, I'm not going to argue with the Manicore.
I only have two Griffins. So when Griffin spam happened with Viros 2, I didn't buy into it, and so I'm okay with that.
I already had 4 at that point, so I wanted the new sculpt of Kalissa. So getting the battle box was, like sure, I'll get the new sculpt of Kalissa. Boom, we're good. Get another Griffin. And at that point, it's just a matter of turning in some tournament, prizes for some more. It was no big deal. But yeah, looking good. I'm looking forward to both the ones that apply to me. The circle one actually looks kind of cool. Definitely smacks a little bit more of beginner, but I can see some cool shenanigans she can do.
Yep.
But yeah, so and also, I mean, there's the temptation to take a small faction. I mean, right now everyone's got between, 4 and say 20 things legitimately spoiled,
Mm-hmm.
which is still the barest fraction. If you've got 20 things spoiled, you're still looking at probably a 30-year faction, maybe spoiled at most.
Maybe.
So throttle back on the salt. Let the Red Sea keep its title as the saltiest, and just wait for everything to come out, and then make all your decisions then.
I'll tell you. Go ahead.
Or overreact and sell your crap on eBay and let a bunch of people who look to want to get in get great deals on models.
Boy, I tell you what, the cricks that's been going up on the sales sites.
Oh my God!
It's everywhere. I mean, it's like you can't just like swing a dead cat without hitting a bunch of it. See, I made a necromancy joke there. Did you see that?
You did. Do you still have cricks?
I have some. I mean, I have stuff I couldn't get rid of. So
Okay.
I've got like Gatsby 2. I've got the Witch Coven, and I've got some assorted jacks and stuff laying around somewhere.
I was gonna see if you needed 2 pistol wraiths and a machine wraith
Oh,
because I can't use them as Netflix anymore, so they're dead to me.
I am surprised. I'll be honest with you.
I'm surprised. I'm not horribly disappointed. I mean, I kind of understand. I mean, because they were straight up with it. They're like, "Look, we just couldn't make this work right." So
I felt bad for Rich Brabham. He had just bought and painted Mobius and another bloat thrall and stuff like that, and it's like, God, that sucks.
I would have been much more angry if I had actually bought the Mobius and Bloat Thrall package. I'd have been downright pissed at that point, I think.
Yeah.
But
And
2
he-
pistol wraiths, one of which was really exceptionally cheap, and a machine wraith that's actually already painted because one of my buddies didn't like his paint job. So I bought him a blister pack and just took his.
Yep. No, it's unfortunate. I mean, and I think Cephalix are going to be genuinely fun to play in Mark 3. I think they're going to be powerful and super fun to play.
Yeah, and there's no way that PP was going to get through the entire everything without some small, models not being able to be used again.
Yeah.
Between theme lists and all this other stuff. I'm just happy that the 2 units of Idrians I got are actually legit for mercs now.
Yep. And they're going to be, the Idrians are going to be wonderful.
I'm a little disappointed. I understand they changed them to try and make them distinct, but I was kind of looking forward to using what their rules were. I kind of liked what they brought, but I will see what they bring in the new rules and
dude, they picked
get
up
used to that.
They picked up powerful charge on their hand weapons. They're almost as good as they were in Mark 1.
Is it powerful or brutal?
Whatever, it's +2 damage.
Okay, so brutal.
It used to be the rule. I was doing some education this week on what Idrians used to be. Idrians, I don't know, and you didn't come in until Mark 2, right, John?
Correct.
So Idrians used to have a rule called intercept, which was countercharge for the unit.
Wow.
And they had assault and battery. And the intercept for the unit, the way it was worded was any one model could proc the whole unit.
Oh God.
So you would have one dude stray within 6 inches, and it wasn't end movement. It was within 6 inches, and the whole frickin' unit comes flying at you at speed 6 with prey and powerful charge. They were POW 14 slamming into you, and it was the whole unit. It was amazing. They were so wrong. And then they had assault and battery, so they could shoot you and charge you, and they would be POW 12 on their guns, and then POW 14 on their hand weapons. Those were some dirty, nasty bastards back in the day. I'm going to tell you what. That's why they got the hell beat out of them going into Mark II.
Well, here's a funny thing. I actually feel like their point cost was legitimately fair in Mark II. This is going to sound horrible. I think it's the players who were trying to do something with them that they couldn't do.
That's entirely possible. That's never been done in this game before.
Yeah, no doubt. I actually said about 90% of the things, but.
So I put the skin. I put the skin on all these sluggers.
Excellent. First step's done.
Yep. So now the next step that you do, you're moving from the inside out. I'm going to, because these guys all have chest plates, it's going to have to be doing some silver metals. So I'm getting out the cold steel, my go-to silver metals paint, and we're going to start painting away on that now.
Boom. Let's follow that painting up with some questions. What do you think?
I think we should. It's that time of the show.
Just about.
That's right, because come 8 o'clock. Well, what time are we killing this show? It says 6:30 to 7:30, 8 o'clock, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Daenerys Targaryen's coming on at 8. We don't want any part of trying to compete with that.
Fair enough. All right. Well, here's one from last week I'm going to point out just so I can troll the troll. Trollton Heston said last week, how many shots of Kraken can you have and still say Chubby Bunny?
Oh, we're not taking that challenge. Fuck that noise.
I was ready to accept this challenge with him last night at El Marshall's place, but he was not willing.
Oh,
El Marshall had plenty of Kraken room. I was willing.
Yep. Nope. Not going to have any part of that on the show. I don't need to throw up into my computer desk.
Oh, remember, we would probably just say can't say it anymore.
Nope, I'm done. I'm out of here. One.
All right. So Robert Dresky asks, how amazing is Kador looking for Mark III? Am I right?
Oh, God.
I don't know. They're saving the best for last.
I don't know.
Right?
I can't imagine Matt 7 Jax being. Those guys are so hungry for anything.
I know.
It's like, Jesus. Relax, guys. Relax.
It'll be interesting. Like I want to see the fallout when they get there. So hopefully it'll be good fallout, not bad fallout. But
just Robert, just think about baseball, okay? Just whatever it takes. Just relax. It's gonna be okay.
But yeah, they're saving the best for last.
Cool.
I don't know why Signar's last, but hey, who cares?
Fuck
all right.
Signar.
Carrie Snow asks, what's the best way to paint fine detailing after it's been already bugging you?
Okay, I think I saw this question earlier, and I wasn't exactly sure what it was asking. So,
I assume it would be fine detail after you're done with the model, and now it's bugging you, is what I sort of got from it.
So, I guess the thing to do for me is that if you spot some fine detail that you want to do, what you have to ask yourself a question around risk and reward. What is that fine detail going to get you, and how much is it going to risk another part of the model that you may not be easily able to reproduce? Like in the case, the classic case of that is something that you've airbrush blended in order to get to be the way that it is, and you really like it, and then there's a detail nearby, and there's a high risk that you could hose up your that detail. So I guess the best way to go after a detail is maybe use a finer brush than you're used to using for that particular kind of detail, so that you have a little bit more brush control going on than you might otherwise have, and try to go at it that way. I guess that's probably the best advice I can have. What about you, John?
I would say same thing, risk reward. If you can't reproduce what you might mess up, don't mess with it.
Yep.
Like, just suck it up.
Yep.
If you could reproduce it, then just go into it expecting to have to fix some stuff.
Yep.
It'll help you a whole bunch.
Absolutely. So there you go.
All right, let's get this quick one out of the chat room. They want to know if we've seen the new character War Beast for Legion Circle and the solo for Legion and Ret solos.
So I've not seen the Legion one yet, but I have seen the Ret one, and I did see the Circle, the Circle Beast. Circle Beast looks scarier than shit.
Yeah.
It looks to have a shield and a chain strike weapon, which is, I think, it could be a chain strike like the Mage Hunter's assassin, where it has decap or something like that. But it could have drag for that matter too, which would be obnoxious.
As long as it ignores shields, I don't care.
And it looks like it. Obviously, it's a chain weapon, so it's going to do that.
Yeah.
But
that's all I care about. That and whose character it is, because it's up for review. There's only a handful of Circle Warlocks it could be, and we're really, really hoping it's for Grail, because Grail FTW.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see. I mean, it could be anybody, but it's a beautiful sculpt. Their sculpts are just gorgeous right now, and that beast is one of them. So the one that for Ret, the solo for Ret, since I'm all in on Ret 2016, is a healer, and we're not talking about a kind of dog or a horse either, but it's someone who's going to heal. He made kind of a joke during the course of the video on Beasts of War about it maybe making mage hunters get to the fight without dying so much, which is interesting. I don't know what that could mean. Maybe it is a Rupert, a Rupert-esque type model. So it can give us some tough or something like that, and but we'll see. It remains to be seen. But I think that could be it. What other ones were there?
There's a Legion Beast and Solo.
Okay, haven't seen it. Don't care.
They're pretty cool. I don't have any opinion. They're Legion.
Yeah, fuck them. All right.
So Alex Newman asks, and that's actually Trollton Heston if you're keeping score.
Okay.
Would you ever consider doing a full show while talking in the third person?
We would consider that quite clearly. We are a benevolent dictatorship of the presidency for life of Menoth John. We are a fan of the little people that come to watch our show. We would consider it. What about you, John?
Be interesting, but I feel like we'd both have to do it at the same time. Because the third person, it'd be funny to refer to yourself as John all the time when there's two of us named John. Maybe do first person. That's got some potential.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, in either case, it's potential. 200th
episode or something. Who knows?
I'm not even keeping track anymore.
Put that shit so far out in the future, nobody will ever remember.
It's only 91 episodes.
It's not that far, actually.
That far, yeah. All right. Joshua Rosenthal asks, how much wood would a great bear chuck if a great bear could chuck wood?
You would chuck all of the wood. I don't know.
My answer is Harlan Versch.
Ah,
that's a callback.
Hell yeah.
All right.
That's like that's like a short attention span callback, because you're calling back into the same episode. That's pretty hot shit.
Well, you can't all go multiple episodes ago.
No, you can't. Why should
Because
you?
I don't even recall the ways I killed the Great Bears in the past. I probably killed them with just about any way you could kill them.
Because those suckers got to die.
Yep.
Can't let that shit get to the shit you love.
I was hoping to drop Fenris onto them. That'd have been hilarious, but oh well.
Nice.
It was not to be.
Oh.
All right. Adam Shaw asks, if a model was made in your image, what faction do you think it would belong in, and which faction would you want it in?
So, they actually made a model for me. Chain Attack did. It was Lucky the Leprechaun as a solo, and it played for Protectorate, and I'm okay with that. I think it'd be fine. It was his weapon was a beer, and so it was pretty good. So I would say I'll go with that one. And what about you, John? Probably a Merc, huh?
Mine would be a work and should be in Mercs. I actually feel like yours would definitely be a Menoth model, but you'd think it should be in Trolls or Ret.
Oh yeah. Hey, it could be maybe it'd be a Protectorate model that could play in Trolls, or Ret.
Because that's got crossover.
Oh God, yeah. Shit. Doesn't GW do that shit with all their models can play for everybody else anyway, or whatever it is?
That's so. When you want to make a rule and the reason you think this rule's okay is, doesn't GW do this? That means you probably should stop thinking about it right there. Find a better reason. They're not the pinnacle of great rules.
But John, they're the biggest miniatures company in the world.
They haven't been a pinnacle of great rules in quite some time, sir. At least a decade.
All right. Well, okay. So we won't say it because of GW. So, but
Yes.
there you go.
All right. Oh, Kev Bryant decided to spam us with questions.
That guy, out of the woodwork.
Yes. I mean, I'd let him have two questions, one for him and one for his hat, but that's about it. All right. So, who would you like to have narrate your life?
Oh, James Earl Jones.
Oh, interesting. I would go on Sam Jackson. My life requires cursing. Though I would accept Morgan Freeman because he's proven he can drop an F-bomb with the best of them in Wanted.
There you go.
And that was the most shocking thing. You're like, oh, shit. So you give it 10 years? I'd say maybe Denzel.
There you go. I just think that it would be great to have the dulcet tones of James Earl Jones, kind of the voice of God coming out. But I do like Sam Jackson in that for the whole, and then paint your goddamn model, paint a fucking model.
The only other one I could think of, and God rest him, Steve Irwin.
Oh yeah, crikey, that guy.
All right. He wants to know, number 2, will you be autographing people's Mark III books for rum?
Oh, I'll autograph anything for rum. I'll autograph your arm, your boob. I'll whatever. I'm good.
Not directed to me, but I'll autograph your Mark III book for nothing. You don't have to give me rum.
Yeah,
it's probably in a game store, and that's not allowed in the game stores around here.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. The first time I ever had somebody ask me to sign a book for him, that was pretty awesome. I was at TempleCon, and a guy came up and asked me to sign his Protectorate book, and I was like, "Aw, that's so nice."
I did have PG Bowie back when we played the Star Wars collectible card game, the old one by Decipher. Actually had me sign an entire deck because I was his mentor, and he wanted me to sign it, which was legit.
Aw. That's nice. So, I'll sign anything. Yeah, if I'm going to be at Lock and Load, I mean, I'm not going to have some big gaudy thing that with a flag on it that says I'm Menoth John and I'm over here. I've heard that there are certain people in the podcast community that have done that shit. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got an ego the size of East Texas, but Jesus Christ. That is obnoxious.
It is.
Did you hear that? That's actually a thing that's true.
Oh my God.
He wanted everybody in the con to know where he was. Wow. Just fucking wow.
I'd rather it be like, where's Waldo? You got to find me, motherfuckers. Good luck.
But man, I'll tell you. I mean, I got no love for this guy. I should call him out, but I'm not going to.
That's respectful of you.
Yeah, it's like, wow, if that's
Yeah.
literally if that's what he's grooving on, then I don't know. There's nothing I can do to make him sadder.
Yeah. All
Anyway,
right. He wants to know how long on the rack will the leaker be there?
the leaker.
The guy who leaked all the cards.
Oh, that guy. Um, I don't know. I think it's kind of classless. The I don't blame people like you said, John. I don't blame them for people for posting things if they don't have better policing of their IP than that. But I think that's pretty rough, especially if you enjoy the game that they're putting out, because they're handling this in really a nifty way with all the spoilers and faction updates and all that kind of stuff. It kind of takes the wind out of some of those sales. If I was PPM, I'd probably just stop doing those on Monday.
Nah, I wouldn't. What I would do is I would actually, if I found out who it was, I would make sure everyone in the gaming industry, not the layman, but the actual gaming companies know who that is, so they don't trust that person with anything else
Ever again.
playtesty ever again.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect that if they find who this person is, that that's the end of their ever going to lock and load. That's the end of their organized play experience ever. It's just
Yeah.
such a silly thing to mortgage the goodwill. I mean, for once, I'm not going to be the number one pariah at lock and load. I'm pretty excited about that.
What you did is minor. I mean, shit. If anyone's holding a grudge against you for that, then they need to get help.
They sure act funny at me. But anyway.
Let's be honest. I can hold a grudge long enough. People think I'm a dwarf.
But I'm
gonna skip those two questions. They did not make sense. Hopefully, he'll repost them in a way that makes sense.
All right. Complete sentences, folks.
Yes. Trollton Heston, deciding to monopolize our time a little bit here.
Yeah, he's a
And
guy.
I'm only doing this because it's hilarious.
Okay.
He wants to know: have you read any books or bought any land lately?
Red.
And before you just answer, there is a video that I'll probably put on the Facebook page. It's a quote unquote sort of rap video that's called "Read a Book."
Read a book. Read a book. Read a mother effing book.
That's the one.
Yep.
It is. It's magic.
Oh, that's some good shit.
That is absolutely magic.
Read a book. Read a book. Read a motherfucking book.
And I'll be honest, the video definitely helps it. It's top notch.
It is well done. So, yeah, if just read a book, plug that into wherever, and find it.
Jump on YouTube. Not at work.
No.
Not at work. Not work safe. It is. It has some quite salty language there.
Yes, it does. It's for the grown-ups, kids. Remember, we are not. Well, we're not a PG-rated show. I don't know what we are.
PG-13 sometimes.
Sometimes. A lot of times we're Deadpool R. You never know. Although ovipositors have never come up on this show.
Not on this show, luckily.
No, that's Beer Machine's thing. I saved that for Beer Machine.
All right. Drake Scott wants to know, what advice do you have for someone who's trying to get ready to enter the P3 painting competition for the first time?
You know what? Be prepared to lose. No, I'm serious. I'm
only chuckling because I was trying to find the nice way to say it, but you went straight for the jugular.
Well, I mean, just be prepared to lose. It's going to be a learning experience. You are going up against some of the most legitimate painters in the business, and folks that do this stuff for all day, every day. And if you're an amateur painter, like me or like other people, you're going to lose. The thing that you have to take away from it is network and build relationships with the other people that are putting their stuff into that P3. Seek them out. Get to be friends with them. The folks over Liz Hunt and the good folks over there at the Hobby Hangout, along with Shoshi Bauer and her folks over there at War Machine Hordes Painting, are doing amazing stuff about networking within the hobby community. So I really, really encourage you to seek those people out, and get to know the other people who are in that contest, because I've yet to meet a painter that wasn't willing to sit down and say, I've got a question about how to do this technique. Can you teach me? And then they teach you. Mm-hmm. And then when you learn that stuff, you go hat in hand, and you ask kindly and be humble, and take their advice, and you're gonna be a better painter. And then the next P3 that you enter will be better. You still may not win, but keep entering contests and keep on trying. If that is a goal that you have, the only way to achieve that goal is to keep trying, and to not take it personal if things don't work out for you.
Don't take anything personal ever unless it's actually personal, and sometimes not even then.
Yeah, even then, it's not even a good idea to take it personal. But
Yeah.
those painting contests are hard, and
Yeah,
you're gonna fail way more than you're gonna succeed.
my suggestion would be to, in addition to all that, see if you can get some time, just a couple minutes to the judge. Maybe ask the judge, like, what his opinion was.
Right.
Is their opinion? Because some of those cons, they have time, a little bit of time to talk to people, and they're totally willing to be helpful and go like, oh, boom, this, and this. You're like, okay, cool. Because like I used to take models for Golden Demon. I'd take the models, and obviously I'm looking at them trying to decide. And one kid handed me a model that looked, from arm's length like it was just basically painted. And then Dave Taylor, who's a big deal painter, came up with talking to this guy and like, this guy's super legit. So I took a look at the model, and you could see when you took a really good look at it, all the little stuff he did that was freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And the stuff the judges notice, but you may not. So that'll help too.
Yep. And the other thing when you get to know the judges is you get to know what they're looking for, so you can incorporate different techniques or different color theory, perhaps, than maybe what you're even used to, and you may not have even known that was something that was important to them. So,
Yeah, but do that only if that's if your goal is to win, you have to do that. If you just want to paint models and enter them, then just getting their opinion will be better, because it's like two sides of the coin.
right.
One is enter it, you're painting what you want to paint, you're just trying to get better at that. The other side is your goal is to win.
Right. I guess
It's
I was
like
making,
going into a game of War Machine. You have to know what is your end goal.
Yeah, I guess I made a poor assumption there that I was thinking that the person may have been kind of aiming towards a win, but that's not specific to the question, because the question is just what's the advice on entering it, and get in there and do it.
And there's nothing wrong with wanting to win. We
No.
talk about casual and everything, and that's cool, but there's nothing wrong with wanting to win.
Yep.
Nothing at all.
Yep.
All right. Let's take it down a bit from serious.
Oh, that's good. I was getting a little afraid we were actually becoming a hobby podcast.
Yeah, that. Josh Rote wants to know, mayonnaise or Miracle Whip?
I gotta tell you, I grew up on Miracle Whip, but I was wrong, and it was not the right way to go. I'm a mayonnaise man now.
I'm going to quote Scotty from the worst Star Trek movie ever. The right tool for the right job.
That's right, mayonnaise.
Some
bitches.
things you actually want mayonnaise. There are a handful of things that Miracle Whip is probably a better call due to the flavor.
You know what Miracle Whip is totally legit in? Is like a shell salad with chicken. Like you take a pasta salad and use Miracle Whip as a base for the sauce. It's really good because it's got that tang.
People also use it as a mix for, dip for
Oh yeah.
fruit and all.
Yep, makes sense.
On a sandwich, rarely, to be honest. I'm actually a mustard. To be honest, I like Dijon and mayonnaise together.
Sure.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Nope.
Yellow mustard
So-
can die in a fire.
Yeah, yellow mustard's got a handful of places, and there's not too many.
Yeah, maybe on a Chicago dog. And the only reason
Chicago dog or some burgers.
yeah, Chicago dog has enough other stuff going for it that if they don't destroy it in the world of yellow mustard, it ain't so bad. But man, that shit can get out of hand right the fuck now. So just be careful with it. It's like a loaded weapon. Don't hand it to a kid.
Yepers. All right. We'll keep it a little bit light. Chris Ziegler wants to know, how do you keep from shouting, "Release the Kraken"
You don't.
every time you open the bottle?
You don't. You say that shit every time you open a bottle.
Well, yelling is what he said.
Oh, yelling?
Live in an apartment. That'll stop you from...
Ball gags. You know you got them, so just use one. There you go. Ball gags.
Between living in an apartment and opening it up at early in the morning, those are two ways to stop yourself from yelling, because that's just not good.
Yeah, you'll find hate mail. You'll find shit burning on your porch.
I mean, come on. My neighbors already complained that I leave the fan in the bathroom on.
Jesus.
True story.
Wow, that's bad.
That's why I'm moving. All right. So, Scott Hebel II, or Kovnik Scotty Potty, if
That
you
guy.
prefer, Do either of you have a piece of media that is a guilty pleasure, like someone's music or terrible reality shows?
I think it's pretty well understood that my guilty pleasure is Turkish Star Wars. But I would have to say that other than that, God, dead air. That's the best kind of podcasting is when you just stop dead in your tracks.
No, no. You're going to use the thing.
Yeah, I will. I'll use the Get Sound Smarter filter. So I guess from a guilty pleasure standpoint, I don't know. I'm gonna say old Godzilla movies. I mean, it's the worse the better. I mean, it's like if the more rubber suit it looks, the better it is. Oh, Gamera movies too. Gamera movies are not well thought of, and I love them.
So you like, crappy Japanese monster movie sort of deal.
Yeah, there you go.
Kaiju movies sort of, I guess you'd call them.
Yeah, for sure.
I like what a lot of people would call shitty rock. I just love listening to some good shitty rock. And there's a cross section. There is legitimately bad rock that I don't even want to touch.
What is like Striper, or what are we talking here?
No, I mean like The Darkness and a lot of random bands that just have a handful of hits, and you're just like, I really dig that song.
There you go.
But it's just what people would, they're bands you've never heard of or bands that have a very small niche, but they just just scratch that rock itch I get. I was listening to The Darkness earlier today. I was like The Darkness. They're hilarious as shit.
I'm a fan of let's say of Little John and the East Side crew, East Side Boys. So that. Anyway.
Oh, all right. Getting close here. Might actually get through all these.
God
What?
damn. Shut up.
Dan White. Now that absinthe is easy to find in the States, have you had it?
Yes. John?
No.
Yes. Okay. So here just north of me in Milwaukee, there is a place called Great Lakes Distillery, and they actually make their own absinthe. And I've had their regular green absinthe, and I've had what they call their rouge, which is a red absinthe. And first off, if you don't like licorice, don't get into the absinthe, because absinthe tastes like licorice.
Which is why I haven't had any, because it's weird. I fucking hate licorice, but I like Jägermeister. Don't ask.
Well, there you go. It does. Well, there's other aspects to Jägermeister though that change the flavor profile. It's not just straight anise flavor, but I don't know if I care for black licorice because I haven't tried any in so long, but I sure like the taste of absinthe. And but dear God, in mercy, dilute it properly. You got to make sure you dilute it properly, or else it tastes like hell on earth, and it's strong. That shit will fuck you up.
So, it's like Jägermeister. There's specific instructions to drinking it.
Yep.
In case you're wondering, Jägermeister, ice fucking cold, or get the fuck out. Trust me.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
I might pick some up and give it a shot.
It's good. I mean, but once again, follow the instructions on the bottle. I have some absinthe actually over on the bar in Ron's Pub. So there you go.
Well, like my boy Jeter says, I'll try anything twice. Might have been doing it wrong the first time.
There you go.
All right, Declan Lowry wants to know, out of the spoilers so far, what's your most and least favorite?
Least favorite's the Sluggers. Fuck those guys. I'm painting them out of spite and Brush Chewers. I need to stay on Brush Chewers' good side.
There you go.
And but yeah, they fucking blow still. What might they be good with? Fuck if I know.
We'll see when all the rules come out. There might be something that makes them awesome.
Snipe.
Maybe they have this cool slugger hero that's got 2 sluggers and veteran leadership and all this good stuff for him.
He's got like 2 sluggers. He's got a slugger coming out of his pants. He's got all kinds of shit going on. And
that's not a slugger, sir. That's something else entirely.
Oh snap! And so something, because man, these guys are hot fucking garbage right now. And of the things that I have seen that I am most warm in the shorts over, I'm going to stay in the Retribution the Retribution world, I am going to say that. Oh, what the hell did I see? Um, I think Gareth is going to be freaking amazing. You talk about 0 to hero in 2.2 seconds or less. He's going to be pretty darn scary.
Opinions vary on that. I don't think he was a 0.
Well, I mean, okay, I guess I'm speaking in what would they call it? The
Generalities?
yeah, generalities. But I think I mean I will be very honest with you. The only ret coin I actually ever won in a tournament, I won with Gareth.
Garrett's super fun.
But anyway, so I think that those are really really excellent. Hearing some rumors about the Arcantric Force generator that could be very he could be downright dirty good in the next edition. So
Yep.
there you go.
And that actually answered David Cameron's one about Sluggers now useful or they remain forever on the sidelines too.
Yep, fuck them guys.
Just to get that out of there. And so mine, my least favorite was seeing that Denny still has crippling fucking grasp. That spell didn't need to fucking exist anymore, especially not with her fucking feet.
Yeah.
And especially not when they're theoretically making upkeeps harder to get off. For fuck's sake, really? You want to talk about negative play experience? It's having a unit that gets to do fucking nothing for pretty much the entire game.
Yeah, crippling grasp is a fucking nut punch.
It's like there were ways to do it better. That was not it. I'm still a bit disappointed. On the other end, what am I happiest about? Durgan motherfucking Madhammer. Holy shit. I mean, I didn't think they'd make him better, but they kind of did.
Resnick 1 also actually makes me very, very happy. Resnick 1 got his old battle group spell for boosted hit and boosted damage against a particular thing that's been marked. So basically, you mark a thing, and his entire battle group gets boosted to hit, boosted damage for the rest of, and I think it's an upkeep. But it's his old Mark 1 spell. And I'm going to tell you what, folks, you lay that sucker onto a Colossal, and I don't care what it's got, what kind of spells it's got on it, it's going down. Man. And then you throw the Scourge of Heresy now has reach. Man, getting saucy with the Resnick 1.
Raybon wants to know about your AFG rumors you heard. He'd like you to share.
I honestly can't.
Oh,
They're really good,
cannot share.
Raybon.
Sorry, sir. They are from a protected source.
They're from a protected source, and I'm not going into it, but she's for reals, yo. Go get one if you don't have one. Paint it up if it ain't painted. You're going to be fielding it on a frequent basis. Promise.
So there you go. Well, I think that about covers. We got a couple left, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Are we getting to that time where it's time to talk about media?
Yes, sir.
Nice. I'm just going to keep on painting, mostly because the media section graphic, obviously, since Skype doesn't goddamn work, is not near as exciting. So I'm just going to keep on painting these dudes.
All right. Well, I only saw one movie this week, and that was at a group viewing of Deadpool at Greekin's house.
Nice.
It was good because in addition to watching a fun movie, I needed some social interaction that day because I was having a bad mind day.
No, I'm glad you got that taken care of then.
Absolutely. It's good fun. Still just as good second time. Maybe not quite as good, just a tiny step lower because, I mean, obviously we've seen all the jokes, so you don't get that first time because, well, I'll be honest, comedies, the first time is always the absolute best unless they go really, really mega far out of their way to make these jokes that carry through the movie. And you're pretty much stuck with Airplane and other movies like that do that. But still, just as good. I actually watched the deleted scenes today because she didn't have time to show them to everyone. They were interesting. None of them were necessary in the movie, but I feel like they actually could have made this a much more serious movie if they'd wanted to. There's one deleted scene where basically they're going around the world. It's like the last stop of their, as they call it, the Cancer World Tour. And it's a serious, serious scene. A little bit heartfelt, very raw, emotional. That could have been a totally different movie. Could have been something else.
I'm glad
I'm
they
not
didn't.
sure it would have been right for this movie, but it's good to show that they were exploring other options with it.
Yep. I will say this. I've watched Deadpool now a couple, 3 times, and Negasonic Teenage Warhead gets funnier every time I see her.
She's pretty funny.
She's hilarious. Her timing is amazing.
She's one where there's an extended freeway scene. Her lines in it are great. Deadpool's lines are pretty good. Colossus, he's a straight man,
Yep.
and that's entirely his role for verbally is straight man. So, what do you say?
You know what these sluggers have to make them even more choice and amazing? Fucking rope.
Oh, I know you love rope.
Man, I tell you what, there's rope on these models. Not pleased. Brush Tour, this is all on you.
Not brush at the barnacle. Actually, Dave, he actually mentioned you yesterday when he was painting all the vine on his sacral vault. He's like, "Vine is my rope."
Yep. Vine is like organic rope. You know,
Yep.
if it's like organic or not organic rope, vine. Same problems. Different color.
So Deadpool was the only movie. I hear you saw another movie this week, though.
I watched a couple movies. Actually, on Saturday, I watched. We're gonna throw you a curveball. This is not the movie I'm gonna talk about in a couple seconds, but I watched Maleficent,
Oh, okay.
the Angelina Jolie, telling it from Maleficent's point of view of Sleeping Beauty. Movie's amazing.
Is it?
I really enjoyed it. I really thought that Angelina Jolie hit it out of the park as Maleficent. I thought that it really put the story of Sleeping Beauty into a different perspective for me. Basically, fuck the humans. I'm all in on Maleficent. She was totally justified in everything that she did. Fuck the humans. And there you go. So I would give that one, I'll give that one shot of Kraken. Really good times. Really good times. But the movie you thought I was going to talk about is Civil War.
Yes. Civil
War is amazing. Really enjoyed it. If you take apart the Marvel Cinematic Universe into different parts, and it's clear that if you had to pick 3 movies, the 3 you probably want to go with are the Captain America movies.
Absolutely. I might. I mean, I love the first one, but if you're trying to get an overview of the universe, I might go Avengers, then Winter Soldier, and Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War is really, really good. It is kind of a Captain America movie.
When you analyze it, it really is still, because it is still Cap's story, but that's why. But it's got a lot of other players in it and a bigger story around it.
Yeah, it really is a. I don't know. It felt mostly like an Avengers movie to me.
The third act is 100% Cap movie, though.
Yes. Yep.
Actually, I think of the first, the third act. It's the sort of the middle act sort of deal. Is actually, it's an Avengers movie in the middle act.
Yep. I thought that Ant-Man did a lovely job.
It's great.
I watched Ant-Man again this week. God, love that guy. And then the kid that plays Spider-Man. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, we have a Spider-Man we can enjoy.
That guy is great.
God, he's good in that role.
Best on-screen Spider-Man, I think.
Oh, without question, and true to the comic too. And so I really, really liked it. I felt that I'm glad they made they headed to where they did with when they went to the place with the things and they were all dead. So there you go.
Yes.
I thought that was good.
Communism is just a red herring.
Yeah. And then I really enjoyed. Let's see, I really enjoyed Black Panther.
Yeah.
I think I've always enjoyed Black Panther's backstory with the whole Wakanda thing and his ascension to being not only king but Black Panther as well.
Yeah.
Really
I love how they just slip in that they're an advanced culture in the middle of Africa. And it's like it ain't no thing. No one makes like a big deal about it.
Nope.
They're an advanced culture that isolate themselves from the rest of the world because fuck the rest of the world.
Because they could. They decided that was a good idea.
There are things people have nitpicked about, like the ending.
Okay.
The little bit at the end where Cap goes in that place.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make sense. Like, well, if you base on everything else that's happened, it actually does make sense.
Yeah.
He's got some new friends with some good stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that it was absolutely probably the only place on the planet that he could be.
yeah,
And it all further goes to show the kind of human being that Black Panther was.
yeah, absolutely. It was very good. One of my favorites.
Yep, really liked it. I'm gonna give it one shot at Kraken just because it's nice to have a little something nice to sip on. Although honestly, if I was gonna watch that show, I'd probably give it a shot of Sortilege because it's just a nice, smooth, happy little liquor to drink along with it. It's not an angry liquor. Let's face it, Kraken can be a little angry, but
Oh yeah, a little.
it can be a little angry. So I thought it was really, really good. So, Trollton Heston should have been called Avengers Fuck Up an Airport. Well, that does happen.
That's what I would call the middle act.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And that scene is everything you wanted from Batman versus Superman, but didn't get.
Yeah, I still haven't seen Batman versus Superman.
Wait till it's cheap.
Yeah,
Because not everyone hates it, and it's okay if everyone doesn't hate it. I actually got in an argument with one of my old buddies about that. About he likes the movie a lot. In fact, he thinks it's better than about half the Marvel movies, and I thought he was fucking crazy.
nice.
But as I said at the conversation, I'm like, we'll agree to disagree.
There you go. Well, there you go. So those are the movies I saw this week. It's been I'm hoping this week is going to be better, John. To be honest with you, last week was hard. The week before that was even harder. It was things at work have gotten to the point where it's been kind of the opposite of fun. But we're getting there. Friday was a good day, and the weekend was great.
I'm with you. It would be hard for this week to be worse than last week. One can only go through what I went through once every couple years, I guess, at most.
Yeah, and then hopefully not.
Hopefully not. That's my goal. Not.
Mm.
All right. So no more movies for me, but I'm going to review some trailers because a bunch of trailers dropped this week, and not all movie trailers. I caught some TV trailers.
Time out. I finally saw your shirt.
Oh, what's Jam?
I frickin' hate you.
Why?
I want that shirt. So
I think they still sell it on T-Fury.
Okay,
It was a daily deal, but I think they kept it.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, what he's wearing is a shirt that has bands 3, 2, 1, and then it's got Spike Spiegel's ship from
the
Swordfish from Cowboy Bebop.
And it says "Let's Jam" at the bottom.
Nice. Oh my God, I have to own that shirt. All right, T-Fury, got it. Speaking of T-shirts, before you launch into your next thing here, buddy, I'm thinking about putting the shirts back up.
Cool.
So, for those of you who don't know, there have been 3 Painting with Mouth John shirts. One is the classic brush head logo that you see right here. One of them is this thing. The bottom's up monkey shot glass that probably nobody will buy, and that's fine. And then there's also the Podfather T-shirt, which looks a lot like... I'm trying to see if I can bring it up here. There. Looks a lot like that, except it won't have all the socials on it. So go ahead and... except maybe I might alter it so that those are on the back. But there you go. So, thinking about that, we'll let you all know when those go up. So
Absolutely.
Because I know we've got a lot more newer fans and stuff. So what's your last one there, buddy?
So trailers. I saw trailers for 3 TV shows and a movie.
Mm.
The first show was the new Star Trek TV series.
Yeah.
So they showed some space pictures and a logo. Hey, CBS, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck. I have no interest in following that show at all.
And if you make it only through your shitty subscription service, unless your subscription service is some cheap ass, like $2 a month or shit, fuck you twice.
Yeah, no, I'm not paying for NCIS. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Fuck that show and the horse it rode in on.
Okay. I love NCIS.
All right, well I'm happy for you. I remember.
I love NCIS, and I'm still not going to pay for your web service.
That's how bad it is.
There you go. I don't need to. Get a good deal with someone else and put your shit on their site. God damn it. And if you're going to do a trailer, do a fucking trailer. Show us something. Don't just throw us a fucking Star Trek logo, you bitch.
Like the Star Trek movie.
Well, hey, that's on my list too. Star Trek Beyond. Let's talk about that a little bit.
That one looks fun.
Let's talk about making an entire 180 on my opinion of that movie based off the first trailer to this trailer.
Yep.
Now, this looks like a fucking Star Trek movie.
Looks fun. Looks fun as hell.
There, if you watch the trailer, you catch some glimpses. Things make a little more sense. Sure, they blow up the Enterprise, but they find an old NX class and they have some little bit of traipsing around saving the crew, and that could be cool.
Yeah.
Tell you
Yep.
what, I am now excited enough. I might see that opening weekend
There you go. Good stuff.
because Into Darkness wasn't greatest, but it wasn't like Terabad or anything.
I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it was trumped up. It wasn't great, but there have been far worse movies out there.
Let's be honest. If they made a poor decision remaking the Khan storyline,
Without question.
and as a movie, it is to start the first Star Trek what the second Charlie's Angels is the first one. They just took everything a little too far.
Yep.
Because in the first movie, they lay the ground rules, and you could hang with that. Cool. You go to the second movie, you're expecting the ground rules from the first one. But no, they sort of upped it a notch, and it was a touch too much, as AC/DC said. But I'm looking forward to this. It looks cool. And honestly, the guy who did Fast and Furious, and I fucking love those movies. It may not be high sci-fi anymore. It may not be, what Gene Roddenberry envisioned, but it could be a fun time.
Simon Pegg wrote it.
Yeah, and I wanted to give it a chance because Simon Pegg said give it a chance. That first trailer was just shitty. And now they get a trailer out that's not shitty, so I'm willing to give it a chance.
Yep, there you go. So exciting.
So 2 more real quick. Lethal Weapon TV show. Oh my god. Really?
I haven't seen the trailers for it, and I don't think I want to.
Do you want to know who's playing Murtaugh?
Who?
Damon Wayans. You know who does not look old enough to be Murtaugh?
Damon Wayans.
Exactly.
Oh, wow, that's really bad.
I don't think he's bad. He's in the preview. He's a little too comedic because Danny Glover was perfect straight man, straight face. He'd tell some jokes, but they were all done well. He told them in a straight man fashion. And Damon Wayans is a baby face. I mean, sorry, Damon Wayans, you just have a baby face. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's how you are. You don't look like you can play that role. The guy who's playing Riggs, okay. I mean, no opinion to him so far. That's probably a skip it.
Yeah, there you go.
And also, it's on Fox, so it's going to get canceled within the season if it's good and be aired out of order. And then the other one is MacGyver. This one is not a reboot, though.
Okay.
This is a continuation. This is MacGyver's son going and doing MacGyver things.
Gives it a
So,
gives
some
it a little bit
interest
more
there.
design space, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit more, maybe. But he joined some team to be a part of to help stop, counterterrorism and stuff. I'm not really. I mean, I know technically MacGyver was sort of counterterrorism. If you go back and watch the series, he worked for was it the Phoenix Foundation?
Sure.
I think it was the Phoenix Foundation, and he did jobs for them to, it's basically counterterrorism and such.
I would have believed it if you had told me it was the Swing Line fucking stapler company, making shit out of paper clips and whatnot.
I may be wrong, but that one sounds right in my head.
Oh, there you go.
So, it looks interesting. The kid's a little. I mean, part of MacGyver's charm was he was never ever smug or anything like that.
Yeah.
He was an earnest guy, and his kid, they portray him as a bit smug, a bit obnoxious, and they pair him with a guy who's sort of obnoxious and smug in a different way. And he's got like some tech support chick because the chicks are always tech support. For fuck's sake, next time let's do some Dark Angel-ish shit and do the chick kicking ass and doing other stuff and the guy back in tech support.
There you go.
But that one looks like give it a shot maybe.
All right.
If it's bad enough, you give it multiple shots.
Bump. There you go. All right. Sounds like we've got ourselves a show here, John.
Yep. And let me just I'm going to fill everyone in just in
Yep.
case you don't catch next co-host corner or this co-host corner. I'm going to announce what I'm going to watch on the co-host corners in the episode before so you know what's coming.
Okay.
Next co-host corner, The Lone Ranger.
Okay.
And I found a ton of videos cheap. Did you know that the dollar store has DVDs and Blu-rays for $1?
Wow.
Fuck yeah.
There you go.
I got some Battlestar Galactica Blood and Chrome that I never watched for $1. I got Jason Statham Killer Elite for $1. Good lord, man. Scorpion King 3. I ain't seen 2, but it's got Ron Perlman in there. How can it be bad?
I know Ron Perlman's like the spirit animal of this fucking show.
So I got lots of stuff to watch, guys. There's gonna be some good reviews coming
Man,
up. Lots of at least direct to DVD, not direct streaming, direct to DVD at least movies.
nothing says shitty movies like the Painting with Men Off John show. I'm going to tell you that right now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you that brings us to the close here. We're 1 minute over past Daenerys Targaryen's boobs, which is the closing music of this show. You know, folks, we do this shit every week because we love you. We love doing it. Gives me and John a chance to catch up on our respective weeks, and we're happy to have you along for the ride. Next week, we hope you can actually see him. Would be super sweet and totally legit if that could possibly happen. So I'm going to try to unfuck things with XSplit. Remember, folks, if you're listening to this show and you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, when we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to give some shit away. And we have stuff in the prize vault. So if you are listening to this or watching this and have not subscribed to this channel, do it. Subscribe. It's like one little click on your finger. You won't even get carpal tunnel from that shit. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the guy up in the upper right-hand corner, Mr. John Spencer, he just blew you a kiss, and myself, the drunk idiot in front of you, I'm Menoth John. We'll see you next week on the Painting with Menoth John show. Fucking A, Bubba.